leading the revolution of talk radio. Lynn Cullen.
I don't know. Was this reprinted in today's? No, it was. I think a few days ago. I did see this, but somebody has emailed me. Jonathan's emailed me it again. It's Maureen Dowd's column, which was titled "Yes, She Can." We've been talking about Hillary and the convention, which is turning into the Clintons' convention, and she says this. In part, this is Maureen Dowd, I'm sorry. Hillary is orchestrating a play within a play in Denver, just as Hamlet used that device to show that his stepfather murdered his father. Hillary is going to try to show the Democrats that they chose the wrong savior. Hillary feels no guilt about encouraging her supporters to mess up Obama's big moment, thus undermining his odds of beating John McCain. She's obviously relishing the plans to have multiple rallies in Denver. These are her supporters, Hillary's people, to have multiple rallies in Denver, to take out television and print ads, and to hold up signs in the hall that read, "Denounce Obama's coronation." In a video of a California fundraiser on July 31st that surfaced on YouTube, Hillary was clearly receptive to having her name put in nomination in a roll call vote. See, this is old enough that this is before. It's a done deal. She said that it would be good for the party, good for party unity, if her gals felt that their voices are heard, quote. But that's disingenuous. Hillary was the one who raised the roll call idea at the end of May with Democrats who were urging her to, well, face the math she'd lost. She said she wanted it for Chelsea, oblivious to how such a vote would dim Obama's star. Ever since she stepped aside in June, she's been telling people privately that there just might have to be a catharsis, that is her word, at the convention. Bill, meanwhile, continues to howl at the moon about Obama. He's starting to make King Lear look like Ryan Seacrest. The way the Clintons see it, there's nothing wrong with a couple making plans for their future, is there? The Clintons know that a lot of Democrats are muttering that their behavior is disgusting, but they're too filled with delicious schadenfreude at the wave of buyer's remorse that has swept the Democratic Party. Many Democrats questioning whether Obama is fighting back hard enough against McCain. Many wondering, given his inability to open up a lead in a country fed up with Republicans, or if race will be an insurmountable factor. Some Democrats wish that Obama had told the Clintons to get in the box or get lost if they can't show more loyalty, rather than giving them back-to-back prime-time speaking gigs at the convention on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday will be all Bill. The networks will rerun his churlish comments from Africa about Obama's readiness to lead and his South Carolina meltdowns. TV will have more interest in a volcanic ex-president than anything else. Obama also allowed Hillary supporters to insert, this went in, an absurd statement in the platform suggesting that media sexism spurred her loss. Wow. And that, quote, demeaning portrayals of women dampened the dreams of our daughters. This, even though postmortems, including these new campaign memos leaked to The Atlantic, finger Hillary's horrendous management skills. Besides the crashing egos and screeching factions working at cross purposes. Okay, well, this and that's where this other quote comes from, where she says it would have been better to put this language in the platform. A woman who wildly mismanages and bankrupts $250 million campaign operation and then blames sexism will dampen the dreams of our daughters. Yeah, so here's what's happening. Because Hillary and her supporters will not do the right thing. And the right thing is coalesce behind the candidate of the party, as the Republicans have long since done, and put a united front and win. We're getting down to, down to the serious part here. Just a few months left. And Barack Obama, rather than taking on John McCain, is spending his time doing what? Trying to placate the woman he beat. And I'm sorry. If she'd run a better campaign, I do believe she would have won. If she had better strategy, if she'd gone into the caucus states as he did, if her organization had been better, I do believe she would have been the candidate. And do you think Barack Obama would be having this kind of a hissy fit? No. This is irresponsible. This is keeping the nominee of the party from focusing on what he needs to focus on. And it is not placating. It should not be placating the people who didn't win. They're supposed to have the maturity to suck it up and fall in line. That's what they've done over on the opponent side. There's a unified front over there, and the Democrats, being who they are instead having a civil war. Brought on by whom? Make no mistake about it. The Clintons and their supporters. Not all their supporters, but enough of their supporters to truly jeopardize the party's chances in November. I will say this. If Barack Obama doesn't win, there'll be lots of things to blame. We'll do lots of postmortems. But the Clintons are going to come in, and some of their supporters will come in for, I believe, most of the blame. And so if anyone's thinking this idea that, well, if Barack loses, see, then 4 years later, Hillary comes back and everybody realizes they goofed and that they should have nominated her, that ain't going to happen. There will be such anger, not at Barack, but at the Clintons. They're finished. And because it didn't turn out like they wanted to, they are jeopardizing the party's chances. And consequently, from my point of view, our nation's future, because their egos are bruised. This kind of petulant behavior is unseemly at best and destructive to our nation at worst. Enough. And it does make Barack look weak. Where have the Clintons not gotten exactly what they wanted? Huh? She speaks prime time. He speaks prime time. Roll call vote. This silly language in the platform. How much placating do they need? Do you think anything is going to satisfy them? The only thing that satisfies them if she actually at the last minute snatches this nomination away from him. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Listen, more Democrats voted for him than voted for her, and if you think in 4 years' time any of those Democrats that voted for him would ever even consider voting for her again after the way she's behaved. You got to be kidding me.
Well, she's been campaigning for him for the last month now. I mean, there's a difference between what she's doing now and what her supporters are doing now. Just as you drew the line between Obama and his supporters. She's out on the stump doing events for Barack Obama.
Sort of, kind of, a little
now.
bit, not a lot, and somewhat tepidly. And hubby, is undercutting Obama every opportunity he
And how
has.
many has he had?
Huh?
How many has he had recently?
How many what?
I mean, he did that interview with ABC, but what else?
Well, I'm sure if anyone wants to talk to him, he'd be more than happy to do so. I am telling you, they're behaving abominably. She still never really quite made a concession speech.
What did she do on that Saturday? It was a huge concession speech. She told everyone to get behind Barack Obama. She went on and on.
She told him to get behind Barack Obama, and meanwhile is not attempting to shut down these efforts to draw attention to her and her people during the convention.
And this was an effort that was agreed upon by both campaigns, as much for him to get her supporters as for her to release
Those supporters are not coming over. They have nothing but ill intent.
Well, then he shouldn't have agreed to it.
I agree.
If he thinks that none of them are going to come over no matter what she does, then he should have never agreed to the thing to begin with.
I agree. He shouldn't have. I think he's cutting his own throat. Cynthia, go ahead.
Hey, Lynn. Some of those people were out front last night in front of the fundraiser when Howard Dean was here. And they reminded me of, I think of something that happened to me when I was a child. I had a teddy bear, and something kept coming out of it. My mother kept fixing it. and I kept insisting that she fix it. She kept doing it, and finally she had enough, and she threw it away. They haven't gotten over, Hillary's gone, she's not coming back. And it made me mad yesterday when I read that Howard Dean's attacks on Obama are the attacks that Hillary did to him when they were running against one another. So, McCain has picked up all of this. Her
right. He's taking her playbook that she used in the last month, 6 weeks or 2 months of the primary campaign, and she did. She wrote the campaign book for the Republicans. That's one of the things we were saying during the primary, that she was playing way too rough because what she was doing was writing a campaign, the Republican campaign.
That's what she did. And for anybody that still thinks they want her or want to vote for McCain, think about him sending your children to the war he plans to start with Russia.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. This man, as I said to you last week, I think he was more dangerous than Bush. And I'm more and more convinced of that as time goes on. These people are just unscrupulous and will do anything.
Right.
And they're also backed by the guys who don't want to see any prison time in their future. And these are the ones that lied us into Iraq. So you got those, and you got the new bunch, Randy Schooneman and the rest. So go ahead, do that, and your sons will go to more 100 years war. Will be for real.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, and you thought when he talked about 100 years, he was talking about Iraq. No, he's talking about wherever the heck he can start fighting. Man, does he have an itchy trigger finger. I'm Lynn Cullen. It's AM News Talk 1360. All righty, we're back, and straight back to the phones we go. Barb, Southside, hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
I am so angered by this entire situation. I was just reading in the paper how our soldiers have contributed 6 times to 1 to Obama versus McCain. They are counting on the Democratic Party to do what they said they're going to do. And we have this Machiavellian type of scenario where, we know it's all about her, but what's happened is that all these people have said we have 2 great candidates, 2 viable candidates, and what we are seeing is that one has class, but it's all low. I'm outraged at this. I have such a bad feeling, and I'm a pretty optimistic person, but this just reeks of so much behind-the-scenes skullduggery here that I just cannot imagine the chutzpah of this woman doing this. And I'm sort of saddened by the fact that Barack his campaign, they might know something that we don't know, Lynn, but I just wish they had said, you know what, we have a due process in this country how we do elections. And you truly have done something of a historical nature, but so have I. And we cannot risk a disunity at this convention for any kind of personal agenda. This idea of we need catharsis, psychobabble nonsense. What kind of catharsis?
No, I agree. The only catharsis they can have is by having a different result, and they can't have it.
And you know what? And I think that the superdelegate difference was 136. Whatever it was very close. But what burns me is that how many Republicans can look at this and just laugh and say, well, you know, these people can't even, it's like they screw up a one-car funeral. They can't even get their convention together.
I agree.
And it reminds me of like when you see a couple that's married and they're fighting. When you're around them, you're very uncomfortable. People don't like to be part of a whole lot of confusion. We have confusion in this country. And the last thing we need is hooting and hollering for Hillary and screaming and yelling for Barack and you get out of here and you dirty, rotten bum and scream. You know what I'm saying? We look like a bunch of idiots. I just wish if Hillary, people say, oh, well, Hillary should have done this and that. All Hillary would have to do is stand up right now and say, listen, guys, Barack's won, and I'm 100% behind him. And if you need catharsis, go to a psychiatrist, because we are all going to say she's not doing this.
No, she's even less than subtly suggesting that to keep this going, because she has not closed it down.
And all the Republicans, Sean Hannity was talking about, and all those bozos, you want to get a good laugh and see who's going to be running this country? Watch the Democratic convention and watch how these people act. And you have people like the independents who are just on the edge. Do we go take the chance this time, or do we not take the chance this time? And they see this kind of stuff going on, and the first thing they're thinking is, we're getting another Hill and Hillary show here. Yeah. And it makes Barack look weak.
I agree with you. Barb, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye. I don't know. I'm going to cling to what Barb did say, that maybe we don't know everything and that this is just something that's got to be. And maybe it will be okay. I don't know. Dwayne, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am fine.
All right. I just have to say, everything you said, I agree with 110%. And the lady that just got off, I also agree with her 110%. And what is Hillary thinking? She's broke as a joke. What she thinking? Somehow she gets the nomination. She would get showered with money, and then everything would be rosy.
Well, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, there are a lot of people who really think that they're going to go through the motions of supporting Obama, albeit tepidly, and hoping, praying that he loses, and so that they can do the "I told you so." We made the wrong choice. Hillary would have been the stronger candidate. Let's make a correction in 4 years. I think that's what they're thinking.
I know that's probably what they're thinking, and like you said, I'm loathing them now. I would even loathe them even more, and I probably work against them if 4 years from now if he does lose, and she go and run again.
Well, let's hope not. Hey, Dwayne, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you too. I don't know. Does this sound like a unified party? Does this sound like people are excited about going into their convention?
But I think both sides are egging this on.
All right. What? One side is supposed to what? We're supposed the Obama
I'm
people
saying,
are supposed to shut up and let the Hillary people take it over?
There are backers of Barack Obama that it wouldn't matter if Hillary walked on water for him, it wouldn't be enough at this point. They hate the Clintons because hating the Clintons is easier than hating John McCain, and it raises more money.
Nah. What do you mean? That's not true.
I think it's very true.
No, I think there's a lot of bad blood because of the way the Clintons fought this campaign.
Oh, I'm not saying that that's not where it originated from the actual campaign. I'm saying now it's still easier to hate Hillary than to move on and go after John McCain.
Well, what's keeping us from moving on is Hillary and her people insisting on this very, very
and like I
sort
said,
of public profile.
She's been out there for the last month campaigning for Barack Obama, and you know what? To some Obama supporters, it's not good enough. And it never will be.
We're talking about what's happening at the convention.
Yes, and it was an agreement by both campaigns, both the Clinton and Obama campaign.
Right.
Now, whether Hillary pushed this or whether Barack believes this will actually bring him some more votes, I don't know. We don't know because we weren't in the room.
No, I think it's well known that the Clintons are insisting this.
The reports are that since she has a vote, she's a senator, therefore superdelegate, she is at that time going to turn all of her delegates over to Barack Obama.
We'll see.
But until then, we'll just assume that it's all evil.
Well, we have that sense. The fact of the matter is, the way the primary played out, there are a lot of Democrats who absolutely do not, it's true, trust Hillary and Bill Clinton anymore. They don't.
Oh, I agree they don't.
And they perceive them as so totally self-centered and caring more about themselves than the party. And that's just the perception that has arisen. And then you got that exacerbated by a lot of her, supporters who are actively trying to assure the Democratic nominees defeat.
And I think that's where one caller hit it on the head. You got to separate the candidate from the supporters. What has she done for the last month? She's not out there campaigning for herself.
You make it sound like she's on the stump every day.
No, but
very little.
Where has she been asked to be and where has she been?
Very little. I have no idea. But she ain't out there really beating, things up for him, as far as I know. And as I said, I don't know. There's whatever. It's ugly. And I think none of this would have happened if the people who lost would have done the right thing, which is truly concede. That has not happened.
Well, that's what she did a few days after the final primary. And again, no matter what the Clintons say or do, it's not good enough.
Well, because there's always the perception that there's another thing going on. That's true. Marlene, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
I agree with you. This whole thing has a really dark and ominous shadow about it. And if this happens and our Democratic candidate doesn't win, I don't see how anyone would want to vote for Hillary in 4 years because she was willing to put her own welfare ahead of the women and children and soldiers of this country by helping hand the election to John McCain. And one more thing, I think people should think about the fact that if the shoe were on the other foot, that Barack Obama lost, and even though he had a historic candidacy, there would be no Barack and Michelle, and there would be no Barack Obama show at the Clinton convention.
No, there would not.
You better believe
that is true.
it.
There would not.
They
You're
would be,
absolutely right.
go over in the corner, lick your wounds, shut the heck up, and leave us be.
Right.
I really hope that Barack knows something we don't know because I'm just starting to get really dismayed because, I just don't feel that he's fighting back hard enough. And Hillary is just completely wrong. And to me, she's crying sexism, but what is she putting out there? But, okay, the women have to be cathartic, and they have to have this, and they, then suck it up. I lost, and get on with it.
That's right. I've never heard a losing candidate before say that their supporters needed a catharsis.
Exactly.
And it's just like it's playing into this sense that women Because the assumption is it's these women, that
Right.
women are somehow weak and somehow need a little more than other people would want. So where's the feminism there? Marlene, I got to go.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We got to go to the cats, the dogs, the gerbils, who knows what's. And thank God. I'm Lynn Cullen. It's AM News Talk 1360. All right, we are back. We being me and Sarah McCain from Animal Friends and Hickory Dickory Dog.
Well, his name's Hickory, but apparently he was called Jackson in his home.
Jackson.
So I don't know. I think he knows his name.
Oh
I
no,
think
he
we
definitely
should call
does.
him by his
Jackson.
name.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I
He
mean,
knows his
that's-
name. That's a
trying to see.
perfectly
Let
good
me
name.
see.
Jackson, how are you, sweet face?
I don't
You are
know
so
how
cute.
long these folks had him before they returned him. They actually returned him because he picked up a 4-pound dog and shook the dog.
Uh-oh.
So, I guess
So the problem is here what? He doesn't like dogs?
that's what I think. I think they had him probably for about a year. It looks like he was adopted in September of 07, and he came back to us in July of 08. So they had him for about 10 months. I don't know that it was a good match for him. They did not have a fenced-in yard. What happened with the little dog apparently involved the 5-year-old opening the dog. He ran out, and this little dog was tethered in front of his house. So, I think that, not having a fenced-in yard probably was a problem if you're going to let a dog like him run. We should give a description of him. He is a Border Collie Lab mix.
Well, first of all, a Border Collie Lab mix is a smart dog.
They're very smart.
Very smart dog, an energetic dog, a working dog.
Exactly.
And a dog who needs lots of exercise and lots of care.
And lots of things to do.
They do. I'm
They
sorry.
just
They're the
can't-
greatest dogs in the world, but their heads are going a mile a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and they need. And you can see it. He's cute as can be. By the way, he's just adorable looking.
Yeah, he's got a lab, short hair. He's short-haired, so he doesn't have the typical long hair that a Border Collie does, but he's definitely got the look. I mean, he's black and white. He has a lot of white on his face, white feet, so you can definitely see the Border Collie in him.
Tip
and you
of a
can
white tail, and
yeah.
the rest is sort of a grayish black.
Right.
It's a soft black. And he's got a really intelligent-looking little face, and his tail's wagging a mile a minute.
Now, I will tell you, he walks like a dream. I had absolutely no trouble. I'm carrying a purse. I'm carrying the folder with his information in him. I come out of Animal Friends, and he just walked at a very, very nice pace. We walked around on the walking trail. He did all of his business outside. Excuse me, as I told you, I have allergies.
That's
and
okay.
I'm,
Yeah, join the crowd.
He did everything outside, so he's completely housebroken. He walks extremely well on the leash. He was fine in the car. I put him in the back of the SUV. He just kind of hung out and talked to me every once in a while. I'd hear a little, just a little whimper. So he was really good in the car. So in the right situation, I think he would be a tremendous dog. I'll read you what our behavior team had to say about him. They said, Hickory is a confident dog. Hickory does not accept most handling, but does not show aggression. No guarding issues, so there's no guarding issues with food or high-value treats or anything like that. Needs lots of exercise to help alleviate frustration and tension about handling. Agility, long walks, manners classes, structured playtime, i.e. fetch and frisbee, are strongly recommended, and they want an experienced, strong leader as his adopter.
Okay, so what we got here is a great dog, but a dog who needs also an owner that knows how to be the owner of a great, energetic animal.
Right.
I can see. I mean, you sort of feel energy coming off him.
Sure.
He's
wagging his tail.
He's wagging his tail, but lying down. And the minute we've focused on him, he's up, saying, "Where's the party?
Yeah.
Let's play." So this is not an old person's dog.
Yeah. He would be a great dog for somebody who wanted to do agility training and rally classes. He would be highly motivated. He would really enjoy something like that. And that would channel all of that energy and need to
Right.
To do the activity.
And guys, I just want to say that I know a lot of guys know that a dog is a great chick magnet. Mm-hmm. This dog would be a great chick magnet.
He'd be a great dog for somebody that liked to
run,
jog.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or
hey, some young guy who's smart about dogs, because they do require care.
Yeah.
And this is such a good-looking animal. And smart as blazes.
He'd be a great dog for somebody who could take a dog to work with them. If you had a job that allowed you to take a dog with you, he would be a great dog. They're extremely loyal. This dog is going to bond with someone. In the previous household, he apparently bonded with the 13-year-old son. So I think he's going to bond pretty quickly with anybody who adopts him. However, they are definitely saying no young children, no children under 12. They definitely want an experienced dog owner, no other dogs, and no cats or small animals, given what happened with the 4-pound dog that he picked up outside. But everything else, he's just a very confident, focused dog, does everything in terms of they allowed him to take his food away. They allowed him to they allowed him to take treats away from him. He just has a lot of energy. So that's the type of home that we're going to be looking for him, is a good, confident owner, somebody who's going to give him a lot of structure, a lot of exercise.
And I'll tell you, you think he's 5 years old. He's got, don't you think around 7 or 8 dogs start to just, even border collies start to, they don't have as much
to a certain
energy.
extent. I think it'll ratchet down a certain amount, but I think he's always going to have.
Got a white tummy, he's got a white streak down, and he's got ears that stick. When I said how cute are you, he looks right at me.
He's a great-looking dog.
Good, great-looking dog. His ears go up and then tip over on the top. He is beautiful. Medium-sized dog, I'd say.
Yeah, let me see what he weighs.
I'd say about 40 pounds. 45. He ain't more than
55. 55 when he came in. No, I'm sorry. That was 55. That was 55 last year. Now they're saying when he was returned, he weighed 79 pounds.
Oh, that's impossible.
I'm wondering if
my dog doesn't even weigh 60 pounds and is bigger than this. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's definitely not an 80-pound dog.
No way.
I'm actually going to take him and get him weighed, because that doesn't seem right.
It's medium-sized, nice medium dog.
Yeah, his health is great. They did not have to do anything with him when they when he came back. They trimmed his nails, cleaned his ears, gave him Frontline, tested him for heartworm, gave him his heart guard, updated all of his shots. He's good on shots until 2009 for a couple of them, and his rabies isn't due until 2012. So he's
ready to go.
Great dog.
Great dog. I mean, he's a hard-to-resist dog when you look at him.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Can I give you an update and let you know that Fred, the Jack Russell, was adopted?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Remember Fred, who...
yeah.
He was the Jack Russell who I brought in probably close to 6 weeks ago. He's the one that I walked around North Park Lake with. And
oh, that's right.
He got a little overheated, so I stuck him under one of the water pumps and got him nice and cooled off, and then we went for ice cream afterwards. And he went with somebody. They did not have Jack Russell experience, but they think they'd had a rat terrier before.
Same thing.
So they were used to the terrier mentality. And knock on wood, so far so good. But we do still have the three of the cats that we've had on recently.
Oh,
Penn, who I had on last week, is still waiting. Batman, who I had on, I think 3 weeks ago, is still waiting. And Stingray, the older orange kitty, who does all of our humane education classes, he is still waiting for a home. So if somebody would please come in, we'll talk about some kitty specials that we're going to have.
I saw something in the paper the other day about there's so many kittens, the shelters don't know what to do.
It's awful. It's just awful. It's every year I think, are we finally going to, our proactive spay-neuter efforts, Are they making a difference?
And they don't seem to be. What's going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just think that people want somebody else to solve the problem. People they think that they're doing the right thing by feeding that stray cat, and all they have to do is take that stray cat and get a low-cost spay-neuter application and get it spayed or neutered. And I wish I had $1 for every time our phone rings and somebody says, I was feeding a stray outside, and
now...
Yes.
I got 20,000 strays outside.
And she just had kittens. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had $1 because I'd be able to underwrite a spay neuter clinic for every time I hear that. I just want to say to people, do your part. If you're feeding a stray, if you're taking care of some outside cats, go the whole distance. Don't just feed them, because you're not doing anything by just
You're not
feeding
helping
them.
matters
You're not
at
helping
all.
at all. You can help them by getting them spayed and neutered.
So, I mean, Sarah, I don't know. I've been watching this and working with shelters for over 20 years, and it's just, I don't know how you don't just throw up your hands in frustration.
Well, you save the ones you can. You do as much as you can. We are going to be starting to do some probably more aggressive spaying and neutering. I'm not prepared to, talk about that today, but I think that's really the only thing that is going to
You know what I think we should do
difference.
is we need to start spaying and neutering the idiot human beings who are the cause of this.
Yeah.
Yep. They shouldn't be allowed to reproduce. Thank you very much. May I talk to you about Smiley's Pet Pad?
Oh, absolutely.
Smiley.
Yes, we are regular. We are that's our.
That's
place.
mine. That's mine. Now, wouldn't you figure that Sarah and I know the right pet shop?
We absolutely do.
Pet Pad. It's more a pet pad than a pet shop. I don't know what to tell you. But this is one of the few remaining independent pet shops in the Pittsburgh area. Now, why would that be? Because you guys all go off to those god-awful big box places that also help puppy mills.
Not all of them, I do have to say.
Petland does.
Right. I know that one.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm saying this.
Some of the other big ones, though, do support the shelters.
Now, especially if you guys live in the East End. The fact is, the one I just mentioned has moved in to the East End, which could conceivably kill.
Oh, you're right. I never even thought about that.
Well, I'm telling you, if you live in the East End and you go into that store, shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on you. Don't let them. Shame on you for many reasons, but taking down this incredible place, Smiley's, which has anything you could possibly want for any of your pets, and has done more to help people with their problems and pets, and has gotten more cats, homes, and they go the extra mile. It is just unbelievable. Where are they? They're on Highland Avenue.
I was just going to say, if they don't have what you're looking for, they'll order it for you.
They'll do anything. It's just the greatest place.
It's been a local fixture for, 30 plus years,
Well, this is the place,
Lynn?
if some people remember the pet store on Walnut Street, this is it. But it has moved over to Highland because it's
5 years probably at least, don't you think?
Highland Avenue. It's sort of right. I'm going to place it across from Buffalo Blues, next to the Cosba restaurant.
They have their own parking lot, so you don't have to worry about
their own parking lot. They've got it all, and I got to tell you, as a resource for any pet owner, you can't do better. Your animals are welcome. They got animals in the shop. They got the funniest cats. They got Sam. They got Toby. We've been through a lot of their cats. God bless them.
And they also support rescue organizations, and
Yes,
they
do.
place cats and kittens.
So they're at 215 South Highland Avenue, and that also is literally a half a block away from the huge new East Side development with Whole Foods and all of that, and the bookstore and the fancy schmancy liquor store and all of that. So that's where it is, Smiley's Pet Pad. Don't think about going into that damn big box puppy millish place that has moved into the neighborhood. I've heard people are picketing out there.
They were.
Good. They're trying to take out Smiley's, I'll tell you that right now. Damn them.
And it's a struggle for these small businesses to compete against the like you said, the big stores.
I don't want to live in a world in which all we have are these big dang things. What's the difference? You can be, we were saying the other day, you could be in any city in the country. You wouldn't know the difference.
Right.
It's just all the same stores. What gives any community personality are these kind of stores. Smiley's Pet Pad. I am telling you, give your business to Smiley for a million reasons. Ginny Smiley is the owner. There's nobody better. And again, you can check them out on the internet at smileyspetpad.net. Okay? And I'll see you there. I bump into everybody I know there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Thank you very much. Back with Sarah McCain and the incredibly cute Jackson Border Collie Lab mix who needs a home. Just this in from Norma. I'll tell you why the spay-neutering programs aren't working. It's because there are stores like Petland selling unneutered, unspayed kittens, and they have the nerve to open a store in East Liberty, blocks from the Animal Rescue League. We will be picketing them every Saturday afternoon, and we can close. Okay, so this is one of the people who's picketing them. You know what? What's funny? This email came in, but you said the same thing right before. So they're right near the Animal Rescue League. People are going in there and buying these, what you said, like Yorkie
poos and stuff like that.
And they let those animals, you don't know where those animals are coming from, and they let them go without spaying or neutering.
Right.
And we want to clarify. This is Petland we're talking about.
I don't want to paint Petco and PetSmart with the same bad brush that we're talking about the other store. Both Petco and PetSmart support the shelters. They do not sell animals. All of their cages.
The animals you see, if there's cages, are from shelters.
Exactly.
That is not Petland.
Right. We work with 3 PetSmarts in the area. All of the shelters work with the various stores. So I really want to make sure that people understand that we are not saying anything about PetSmart or Petco.
I do too.
Okay. Good.
But Petland?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Can I get to just a couple things?
You've got about 5 minutes.
All right. We are doing Bark in the Park a week from Sunday. It's August 24th. We're calling it a beach staycation since gas prices are so high. People aren't going on vacation, so we want you to come out to Bark in the Park. It's a big summer pledge walk and party for the dogs. We've got all kinds of really fun things. You register between 9 and 10. The walk starts at 10. Jimmy Kren and his wife Hetty and their shelter dogs are the lead walkers. They do this every year for us, and we're thrilled to have them.
That's good of them.
And then from 11 until 1, we have all kinds of fun things. We have a Soggy Dog Lagoon. So we'll have canine-friendly pools and water games. You can pamper your pooch at the Island Spa. We'll do nail trims and Reiki massage demonstrations. So that's going to be really interesting.
Good God.
The local band Morningside is going to play, so you can dance with your dog. Now this one, it says, visit the Tiki Bar for barkaritas for both dogs and people. I'm hoping that there's some tequila in the ones for the people, because I think this could be a lot of fun. We could have a really good time with that. You can do paw paintings with your dogs. You can do, I think they're going to have some fun vacation photo setups so that you can get your picture taken. We're going to have an agility course, and they're encouraging all the humans to wear Hawaiian shirts. So we're definitely following through on the beach theme. So that's a week from Sunday. You can call to register.
Is that late? No, that's not
No,
Labor Day
it's
weekend.
always the Sunday before Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
It's always that Sunday.
All right.
We are also having a kitten shower on this coming Sunday, August 17th. We'll be there from 10 until 6, and we are doing another kitten shower. The last one that we did was very successful. This one, we probably have 40 or 50 kittens that are going to be ready for adoption. So we're really looking, if people are looking to adopt a kitten, please come in. We have a number of specials that I want to tell you about.
What are you doing, BOGOs?
We're doing a reduced adoption fee. If you take 2 kittens, you will get them for the price of 1. Normally our kitten donation is $100, so if you got 2, it would ordinarily be $200, but in this case you can get 2 kittens for a $100
That's buy
donation.
one, get one.
Right. And actually, as you know, kittens really need to be with another kitten. They need to go home with another animal. I can't imagine anything lonelier than a single kitten at home alone while you're working all day. So if you're somebody that, is going to be gone a lot, get 2 kittens. And this is the time to do it. You can get 2 for the price of 1.
All right.
We're also going to pay your way to Animal Friends. We're going to give you a $5 Giant Eagle gift card, and you'll be able to use that to buy gas at Get-Go.
Cool.
So that's another reason to come. And we're also doing free memberships. You can become a member at Animal Friends. It's normally a $50 fee to become a member, and you'll get a free T-shirt, you'll get discounts on pet food and supplies, and all kinds of other exclusive benefits. So it's really a great deal. As we said, it is raining cats and kittens right now, and by coming to Animal Friends and adopting 2 kittens, you not only save those 2 lives, you save 2 more lives by opening up a cage or a foster home so that we can bring in more animals. I just took home a litter of 4 on Wednesday. They're 6 weeks old. They'll be ready for adoption probably in another month. They are absolutely adorable. But if my foster kittens hadn't been adopted, I wouldn't have been able to take these guys in. So we really would love to see a ton of people. I'll be there most of the day Sunday. Please stop in. If you're a Lynn listener, ask for me and I'll come out and say hi to you. I'd love to see anybody who wants to stop in.
Okay.
Do I have any more?
I think we got about a minute.
Okay. I've told you about the raffle that we're doing for our 2-year car lease.
Right, yeah.
We are going to be selling tickets a week from today at the USX Tower in the plaza. We'll be there, I think, from 11 to 1 or maybe 11:30 to 1:30 in that time frame. But if you come out at noon, we'll be there. We're going to have some of our adoptable dogs there. We only sell 1,000 tickets. They're $25 each, so you have a 1 in 1,000 chance. And it's based on the daily number, live daily number at 7 p.m. the night of Black Tie and Tails.
Okay. Sarah, as usual, thank you.
Thank you.
Jackson, thank you for being such a wonderful guest. And somebody, take Jackson into your life. He's so adorable. But only if you like some exercise. He is. He's really a great dog. And guys, I'll see you, a week from Tuesday. I've got some vacationing to do and a little surgery. A little more surgery to do. Oh, I love having surgery. Woof. 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 Woof.